Hey YouTubers, something important, something kind of damn important. So, talk based around essentially, I want to cover a topic right now. So I have a ramble right now, nice big ass ramble like the big ass cigar, and this ramble is about silence, and does it equal hate? So you have silence, silence. Does it equal hate? Now the answer is it depends, and the answer is a lot of people interpret when you're not talking to them as that is hate. In other words, you dislike the person. I'm not saying you fucking hate the person. I'm not saying you hate their effing guts. It's like, but I'm saying a lot of people interpret when you don't talk to somebody that you don't like that person. I'm not sure why people think this. It's just a weird thing. So, some people just interpret silence as hate. Now, if you're continuing to not talk to the person over and over and over and over and over and over again, yeah, then I can kind of see it. It's like, okay, you haven't talked to me for like a year. Yeah, that's kind of like, you probably have an issue with the person. You got some beef with the person, you got some beef with them. Not beef as in, the food, but like beef, like an argument with them. So, but in terms of for example, if you're just not talking to somebody for 1 day or 2 days on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Twatter, twat being silly ass like a big ass cigar, then honestly, it doesn't necessarily equal hate. I'm friends with over 200 people on Facebook, and no, I'm not going to give up my Facebook. That's my private info, so I'm not going to give up my Facebook to my fans. So I'm friends with over 200 people on Facebook, and I only talk to a handful of people. It's like, on a regular basis. There are people I only talk to maybe once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, and it doesn't necessarily mean I dislike them. Just because I don't talk to them very often doesn't mean I dislike them. I'll give you a perfect example. There's a girl I used to know, not a girl like a young girl, but a young lady who I used to know. When I say girl, I mean young lady. I don't mean a little girl. Obviously a young lady. So, for example, I used to know this young lady, and I haven't talked to her probably for 10 years, but I still like her. It's like, I still like her, and yeah, it's like, I still like her. We haven't talked for a long time, but I still like her. It's like, I'm still friendly ass with like the big ass cigar with her. It's like, just because you're not talking to somebody doesn't mean you automatically hate them. I kind of hate when people come to that assumption, people automatically assume, well, if you're not talking to me, that must mean you fucking hate me. You must fucking, hate me. It's like, it's not a great thing to assume, because obviously assuming is never a good thing to do in general, but yeah, just because you're not, you're not like, talking to somebody 24/7 doesn't automatically mean you hate them. And I hate to come off as a jerk, but yeah, when people expect you to kind of babysit them, like for example, oh, we're friends on Skype, we're friends on Facebook, we're friends on Twitter or Twatter, yeah, twat. It's like, you're like, oh, I'm going to talk to you 24/7. It's like, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's one thing to talk, maybe a couple hours a week, even maybe like a few hours a week. But when you're expecting somebody to like babysit you and talk to you constantly, and if you don't talk to the person constantly, you're automatically offended. Yeah, you're kind of being too needy. It's like, too needy. It's like, so anyway, that's my ramble. Have a nice day. Pretty fucking cool. Bye.